The 2026 FIFA World Cup meal at McDonald's is underway with one of 9 legendary cups in the lineup. Christian Pulisic, David Beckham, Lamine Yamal, Ronaldinho, Thierry Henry, Son Heung-min, Alphonso Davies, Santi Jimenez. And between the posts, it's Grimace. Get one of 9 collectible cups with a FIFA World Cup meal. At participating McDonald's for a limited time while supplies last. All rights reserved. 2026 McDonald's at FIFA World Cup 2026.
Study and play come together on a Windows 11 PC. And for a limited time, college students get the best of both worlds. Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
Hello everybody and welcome back to my podcast, Esme's Country Life. Today we have another midweek mini pod or podlet, and it's also a big episode today because it is the 200th episode of the podcast, and I thought to celebrate I would talk about my first ever affiliated show with Joey. Yes, we are now British dressage members. We had our first show the other weekend, and you know, it was a bit of a roller coaster of emotions. But before we begin, I just want to say a huge thank you to the sponsor of the podcast, Red Post. Red Post is an equestrian and country store based in the UK, and they also ship all over the world. And right now, guys, if you're looking to update your summer wardrobe, get those nice breathable tops. Also, something that is very cool that they do is they do gloves that are designed so you don't get tan lines. I don't know if anybody else gets tan lines in the summer, so they're like a nice mesh material on the top and also nice and breathable as well. I'm pretty sure Lumia do them. So anyway, go and get your new summer wardrobe at redpostequestrian.co.uk. Anyway, let's get into today's podcast episode where I thought I would give you my British dressage review. Now, before we begin, I just want to put a little disclaimer that obviously I am still new to the British dressage life. There's a lot to kind of like learn of all the like little different things. One thing that is very cool that I've looked up into is they have I'm pretty sure an area winter festival or winter championships, and they also have a summer one as well. So there's like lots of different opportunities to qualify for events that feel really big when actually you can go and do a novice or a prelim or lower level tests and still have a good time. So you know what? I might be aiming for that with Joey. We will see. But anyway, yes, my horse Joey, if you didn't know, had him since he was like a 5 or 6 year old. The plan was to do show jumping with him. He's had lots of different injuries, bless him, timeout, rehab, been in and out of work, and the show jumping life was just not for him. I think he just kind of lost his love for it where he's been in and out of work. And anyway, I thought, you know what? Let's build up his muscles and let's maybe try the dressage life. Now, Joey at the moment is looking and feeling the best he has ever felt. And the dressage world for me, because I just haven't done much of it, like, don't get me wrong, I've done a few pony club dressage shows with Casper and unaffiliated dressage shows with Joey when he was a youngster, but the world of British dressage seemed a little bit scary, as I feel like, I don't know, I think dressage has that stereotypical fancy poncy posh ponies. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Let me know in the comments. I don't know, I was talking to my dressage trainer about this and she was like, yeah, no, I feel like dressage definitely has like a little bit of a reputation, but I actually, now this is my personal experience from my my local little showground, but I would say dressage is great fun, but also you gotta take some things with a pinch of salt, if you know what I mean. Now, the dressage shows that I've been to.
This episode is brought to you by Prime. What if you had one more chance with the one that got away?
Sam, you came home.
Based on the best-selling novel from Carly Fortune. Every Year After follows childhood friends Sam and Percy as they reunite in the dreamy, nostalgic lakeside town of Barry's Bay.
Love can be hard to find. So if you're lucky enough to find that person, never let go.
A second chance at first love. Every Year After, now streaming only on Prime.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast. which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
There was a real mix of different ponies, different people, different age groups, because at the moment, I'm competing in novice classes. So it starts at kind of intro, and then you have prelim, and then you have novice, and then above me, we have elementary, which is what I'm aiming for. Hopefully we will maybe get there by the end of the year, we will see. And then you have medium, advanced, and then it goes on and on. And then you're in like the big boy section. So a lot of my shows, I'm pretty sure they go up to medium or medium advanced. Again, I'm still learning the dressage lingo, guys. So I'm kind of like in the middle class at the moment, where there's especially as my local showground, what's really nice is that they do, because it's a little bit smaller, they do unaffiliated and affiliated events on the same day. So you could be doing the same test as someone, but be put in a different class. So because now I'm a British Dressage member, you also get a different rank next to your name. So because obviously I've just signed up, just started, done my first show, I am a bronze person. So you have bronze, silver, gold. I remember doing my first show the other week, or like getting back into dressage, and I was asking my friend, I was like, why is there a U next to my name and why is there an S next to that person's name? I was so confused, because again, this is like one of those things where obviously if you have a trainer, you ask your trainer, you learn that kind of thing, but there's I don't know, maybe there's probably a lot of information on the British Dressage website that I just have not read. But it's little things like that where when, you know, you've been doing show jumping your whole life and you switch to a different discipline, you're like, well, this is new. I mean, I've been riding for almost 20 years and, you know, didn't know that was a thing. So every day's a school day. So yeah, the U means unaffiliated. The B means bronze. The S means silver. And the G means gold. So, I think different show centres and different shows do it slightly differently. But I thought, because I'm a bronze person, or me and Joey are a bronze team, or Joey's a bronze horse, that I would be in my own class to the silver and the gold people that were also doing the same test as me. But I'm pretty sure on my show the other day, I was looped in with all the people that were better than me. I had a higher rank than me. So I was actually very proud, because a little spoiler alert, you've probably seen it on my socials already, but in my first test we came 4th, and in my second test we came 2nd. So hey, double rosette, always good. I would say at the moment with novice, we're consistently getting kind of like mid 60 scores, which is great, because I was talking to my friend about this, because one of my friends was actually at the dressage show and I was competing against her, so kind of awkward that you're competing against your friend, but also it was nice to have like a familiar face there. I have found that if I'm at a show and I know people, or I have friends or family come along, I feel so much more relaxed. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm with my safe humans, and when I'm with my safe humans I feel safe. I think that's how I would describe it. So I feel less pressure. Some people feel more pressure having friends and family watching them, because they're like, oh my gosh, I must impress them, but all of my friends and family aren't really that horsey, so they're like, good job, sweetie, you're doing amazing. So anyway, no, I was talking to my friend and she was like, oh my gosh, you might, like, she was like, oh, it's probably too late for you to try and get to the area festival championships, whatever it's called. And I was like, oh, what is this that you speak of? Because I got through my British Dressage little magazine through of my membership, and I was looking through it all, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I was like, oh my gosh, they've got championships, and like people are doing prelim tests and novice tests on there. I was like, that's doable. I can do that. So apparently, I'm pretty sure to qualify, you have to get 4 tests over 62% for that kind of like section. So it could be for the novice section, it could be for the prelim section, again, all the different ones. So I was like, oh my gosh, well, the 2 tests that I did the other day, I got over 65% in both of them. So I was like, brill, I just need to do 2 more and do somewhat semi-decent, and then I might qualify. So this is great fun. So if you want to feel like you're a really great rider, go and do some British Dressage, because I tell you what, to be able to like go and do more competitions and championships and things, they make it very accessible. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I did not know this whole world existed. I'm used to, show jumping days where you're in a class with like 150 people, and if you accidentally knock one down, well, there we go, end of the day. With this, oh no, I'm enjoying the dressage life, I tell you. Sounds, oh my gosh, that's like somewhat semi-decent. So anyway, let me run through, little rewind, let me run through my tests or my day with Joey the other day. So I was nervous, but I wasn't as nervous as I had been for my first two ones. I was probably maybe most nervous for my first one. I don't know why. I think it's because I hadn't competed in a good while and I just felt a lot of pressure on me. And then I felt also, probably because I didn't do that well in my first one, I felt very nervous for my second one, but actually, got through my little confidence block. And then the third one, which was my first affiliated one, I was like, you know what? Let's go, have some fun. I felt a little bit of pressure because it was my first one where I was like, I'm going to have a record and all of my scores and everything will be written down. And then I was like, well, I'm never going to sell Joey. It's not like I'm trying to build up his points and scores. And like, if we do rubbish, then I'll just blame myself. Because a lot of the time, if someone does rubbish, if it's you're knocking a pole or you do a bad dressage test, most of the time it's the rider's fault anyway. So, Joey, don't worry. I'll take one for the team and, take the blame. But no, so I had a really good warm up. Also, the other weekend, guys, it's become really warm again in the UK. I know I'm wearing a jumper, but that's because I'm recording today's podcast episode at like 8 in the morning before it's got warm. But oh my goodness, the heat is back. And this was also my first time doing 2 tests with Joey in like ages. So I was like a little bit more pressure because I was doing 2 tests, but also less pressure at the same time because, I don't know, different people have different opinions. Some people like to go and do one test and say, if you're going to do a test, go and do that one test and do it properly. And then other people say the first test is to get your competition nerves out, to have a little bit of a warm-up, have some arena familiarization. And the second one is the one where you're like, okay, let's go for it. I kind of went, okay, let's go for it for both in different kind of ways. So what was actually really nice is my grandparents, they came and they watched me, and that was really lovely having some kind of, familiar faces coming along. Although what was quite funny is for some reason that day at the show centre, there were so many grey horses that they were like wandering around. And obviously when you've got a helmet on, it's a little bit more difficult to recognise someone. So they were like, and obviously they've seen pictures of Joey, but they don't, see Joey every day like I do. So they were going around being like, where is she? Is that her over there? And no, that's not her. Like, it was quite funny. But they did find my dad in the end, and then they were like, okay, that's where they are. But no, first test. So I was actually the first in both of my classes, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I actually put early because it was my brother's birthday weekend, so we needed to get back for him that afternoon. So I was like, I'll just say I want to be nice and early, then I can do my stuff, done, get out of here. So anyway, the show centre was like, oh, hey, you're the first one in the class. Go in the arena, have a little warm up. Different, I know, obviously, this show centre I've been to a few times now, so I kind of understand the routine and the way of doing things. So because they don't have loads of space, you're actually allowed to warm up inside the dressage boards, which is really nice, especially if you have a young horse that's maybe a little bit spooky, or you have a horse that you haven't taken out for a little while, and they can just have a little look at the boards and be like, okay, yeah, no, I know where I am now. That corner's not very scary. I've walked past it a couple of times. So I was having my little warm up, and they were like, okay, when the judge goes back in their car after the little break, go down, present, do your thing. Because again, that's something you got to do in dressage. You've got to go down to the judge, say hi. Now, this is a bit of advice I will tell you. If you ever do a dressage test and you have a not very friendly judge, don't let it affect you. Because I have had this in the past, and oh my goodness, I didn't think I was going to cry, but it really shook up my competition nerves because I thought I'd made a bad impression with the judge straight away, and then I didn't ride very well because I was in my own head. So what you need to do is now, there are obviously lots of very lovely dressage judges out there, but you've got to think to yourself, this dressage judge is probably not going to act like my BFF. I am, if you couldn't tell from my podcast, quite a happy, bubbly, chatty person. And I know not everybody is like that. And the judges probably just want to act very professional, not show any favoritism. And like a lot of the time I'll go down and be like, oh, good morning, I'm here for novice test 5, blah, blah, blah. This is my horse. Like, I'll just, I'm a bit of a chatterbox. Anyway, there was once I went down with him and I got told off got told off for going in the ring early. But the show centre told me to. Obviously, I wasn't going to chat back. I wasn't going to be sassy. I was like, okay, sorry about that. Take your time. Take your time. So anyway, I really thought I'd like set really bad. I thought I'd made a really bad impression. But hey, they're just going to judge you on your riding. You got to just ride your best and have fun with your best friend and do some dancing together. So anyway, went down that centre line. The first test, I was a little bit more nervous. I was riding a little bit tense. One thing that I will say, though, in my previous tests, my trot with Joey was like our best pace. Trot for ages has been our best pace. It's been like our solid, let's go. But now, I think canter might be my best pace with Joey. My instructor and I, we've been working so hard on our canter that actually I would say that was better than our trot. So for my test, the first one I did was in a long arena, and the second one I did was in a short arena. Now at home, I only have a short arena, so whenever I ride in a long arena, I'm like, wow, this is so big, this centre line is so long, it's a little bit overwhelming. So I actually prefer, controversial, a shorter arena, because I'm used to it. I'm used to the tight spaces. When so many of my friends are like, I hate a short arena, you feel like you don't have enough space, the turns feel really tight. I'm like, no, this is lovely. I love a nice short arena. I feel like I'm a big fish in a small pond, you know what I mean? So anyway, the second test I thought I did better in, but my friend was like, I feel like we got marked a bit harshly, because she was 1% better than me, so she took the red rosette. But no, was super proud of Joey. He was as good as gold. Also in our little like half-time bit, because we kind of I think I had an hour between my two classes, which was nice because Joey could have some downtime. I went and gave him a little lead, and he ate some grass and ate some thistles as well, which Joey's one of his favourite snacks is thistles. So my local show centre, you're very welcome. Joey's been doing some, weeding for you. To be fair, the bit where he found the weeds was like right round the back, where probably I was talking to my dad actually about this. I was like, they had like little grass vergy bits where a lot of people do like hand grazing and things. I was like, do you think they ever have to mow this, or do you think they just get all these horses coming along graze? They must mow it, because it looked very nice and neat. It wasn't like, little bits and bobs that had been nibbled away. But I was thinking, they probably don't have to do it very regularly, because all these horses probably come along and nibble all the grass. Anyway, I feel like I've started to go into like a feature-length pod for my mini pod length, but I was so proud of Joey, and hopefully with some more competition experience under our belt, and I will be a little bit less nervous and ride a little bit better. We'll get some slightly higher scores, but still to be kind of mid to high 60s in percentage-wise, I'm proud of Joey. He was a very good boy. And also, what I was more proud of, in our first test, we managed to beat some of the silver and the gold people, even though I'm just a little old bronze. So anyway, well done, Joey. What a lovely lad. And yeah, hopefully before the end of the month, I'm going to try and book myself into another one. So there we go. Anyway, thank you so much to everybody for listening to today's podcast, or mini pod, or podlet. And thank you so much to Red Post for sponsoring the podcast. And I'll see you on Saturday for a feature length episode. Bye.